If you're tuning in right now, you happen to be watching the world's truest source for hip hop news, black culture, sports, and of course the best reaction videos on the net. I'm talking about Kofi's Universe. If you haven't already subscribed, it's your chance to hit that button now before I hit this blunt. Bada.
We can't keep tying in K. Dot to Drake all the time. Drake gets his flowers too. You're talking about the boy himself, where he transcended so many haters that were telling him he couldn't amount to shit, and he ended up doing some legendary shit that it won't be topped. You know what I mean?
YouTube, salute. Kyrie Irving says Drake still commands respect for all that he's achieved over the course of his lengthy career. If you're new to my channel, thumbs up the video, hit that sub button, click that bell icon to be notified when I upload new content and go live. So Kyrie came to Drake's defense in a recent video circulating on social media while discussing Drake's feud with Kendrick Lamar. So he's taken a nuanced stance on the beef, and he admitted that Drake has built an incredible legacy over the course of his career. Um, yes, we'll give him that as an artist, but all these people keep trying to say Drake is a rapper. Drake is hip hop. No, he's not hip hop. So let's look at hip hop. Hip hop is a person who writes their own rhymes. He's a complete MC, a master of ceremony, storytelling, wordplay, lyricism, creativity, can battle anybody and be able to hold their own. You know, yes, you want to sell records, but it's more than also just selling records. It's also knowing that you've won the audience in hip hop, not just in the hip hop underground community, but worldwide. People know and people recognize who you are. When you think of hip hop back in the day, people knew Rakim, the God MC. People knew the KRS Ones. In the 90s, you had the Biggies, you had the Nas, and Jay-Z came later on in the late 90s after Biggie passed away. Tupac, one point, people looked at him as hip hop rap. Then after that, after Nas and Jay-Z, who came next? The 50 Cents. He's more of a rapper, but still, some people want to say, oh, it was Lil Wayne. All right, whatever. To me, no. But somebody that controls that. Then here comes Kendrick, here comes J.Cole. You have other artists out there that maybe gonna never get their props. Rest in peace to MF Doom. That's hip hop. Rest in peace to Prodigy of Mobb Deep. That's hip hop. You see what I'm saying? The Lupe Fiascos. That's hip hop. You know. So my thing is a person that's really, shifting the culture. It's a paradigm shift. But Kyrie could be a little salty because remember in 2022 when Kendrick dropped Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, he said, um, seeing a Christian say the vaccine mark of the beast, then he called COVID and prayed to Pittsburgh for relief. Then I called COVID and started to question Kyrie, will I stay organic or hurt in this bed for 2 weeks? That was on the track Savior. Check that out if you never checked that track out. But my thing is this. I'm not knocking Drake for everything he's done in music. He has his own fan base. I respect that. Do your thing, homie. But when it comes to battle rap, that's not your lane. When it comes to thinking that you the best lyricist in hip hop, hell no. When you thinking that you the best storyteller in hip hop, hell no. You and Jim Jones are delusional. You know, but Drake has this colonizer's mentality. He jumps around with the YNs, like the Young Thugs, Little Yachties, the Little Babies. He takes that lane with with that young crowd, and he leeches off them. He exploits them so he can take their fan base. Then he'll go with like the people around his age bracket, like a J. Cole. Oh, let's jump on a track together. Then put a battery in his back so he can go at Kendrick. You see that salty shit he did? So there's tracks that Drake work that's he's on some rap tracks that's dope. Like I ain't gonna lie. There's stuff he did with like YG, that's dope. Who do you love? There's tracks he did with who? The Game. There's tracks he did with Rick Ross. There's tracks he did with J. Cole when J. Cole first came out. So there's stuff that he's done. I'm not gonna sit here and say some stuff that he came out was garbage. No, because his first album is dope. But he's not a rapper. He's an artist. He doesn't write his own rhymes. Little Novi, who was Lil Wayne's son, came out and said, "My dad writes Drake's raps. Quentin Miller writes Drake raps, and there's nothing wrong with that." Eazy had a ghostwriter. Dr. Dre has a ghostwriter. Um, who else? Diddy has ghostwriters. There's a lot of artists that have ghostwriters, so that's fine. Memphis Bleak has a ghostwriter. It was Jay-Z. But anyway, y'all let me know what you think of how Kyrie feels. Do you agree or disagree? Post your comments below. Hope smash Black Panther the like button. Subscribe to my channel. Click the bell icon to be notified when I upload new content and go live. You want to support, donate to the channel. I have Patreon. Patreon.com/KofiUniverse. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, everything's in the description. Until next time, salute.